Okay, this is my go at my presentation, so let me know what you think. When I start it, I'll start a stopwatch. It should be 10 minutes long. This is my first try. Go. Good afternoon. Today I'm going to talk about 4 topics. 1, how to make contact with students in order to explain to them the services that we can offer. The structure of the first lesson of the course with one student. Keeping the student engaged throughout the course and motivated. And finally, how we monitor progress and assess them. Initiating contact with students can be done by putting a video showing the services that we offer them on the website, and when they accept the course or are accepted upon the course, they can watch it in their own time. Hello, my name's Tim Keeley, and I want to tell you how we at Leeds Arts University can help you with your English, for your studies, for your future work, and for living life in Leeds. Furthermore, we could host a short session during the induction for the students, light-hearted and informal, and obviously not overloading them with too much information on their first day. Sample lessons can be embedded into the website, demonstration lessons, which we can role play with volunteers, about 10 minutes long, just to give students a flavour of the sort of lessons that we can teach them, along with copies of the materials and multimedia, so that they can see its relevance to them and their studies. Now, we can also reach out to students via social clubs, like a book club, for instance, an English language conversation group, and I'm sure that we can involve the student union in some way to reach out to students and let them know that we're here. I think that a lot of my business will be through referrals from tutors who will be able to be specific about the grammar and lexis structure, coherence needs, and also needs of confidence and integration within the university community and the community at large. Also, I shall receive referrals, I hope, from library staff and administrative staff. So I need to build up a relationship of trust and to encourage referrals through positive rapport with all customer-facing admin and library staff, and develop a support system of flagging up students' needs and then signposting them towards me. The structure of a first lesson. Now, obviously, before they come into the classroom, they will have taken a level test to determine their general competence at English, and a diagnostic test to see the difference between where they are and where they need to be, their specific areas for improvement. Then they'll take a needs analysis test, and in the first lesson we can discuss their needs in terms of what they require to complete their subject and for university life in general. Where they feel that they lack, this is the difference between where the learner is and where they need to be. Finally, we can look at the more subjective area of wants, the areas of English that the student is intrinsically drawn to. This is very much more subjective. We could discuss learning styles, we could discuss cultural expectations of the teacher-learner relationship. As it is a one-to-one lesson, we can also discuss what sort of style of activities suit the learner the best. I don't subscribe wholly to Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, but I do accept that different learners have different aptitudes, so we can look at which activities suit the learner best. Then we'll establish a dialogue. After that, we'll talk about good study habits, like how to use a dictionary, How to notice vocabulary and grammar and record it in a notebook and then use it again. Using the virtual learning environment to the best effect, and we'll talk about reflective learning, self-assessment, and taking control of your own learning experience, rather than allowing the teacher to dictate it all. Maintaining engagement. I am drawn to a technique, directed motivational currents. This is useful in the short or medium term and possibly couldn't be sustained over a whole university course. It's focused and it's intensive, and it's oriented from a vision of the learner and how they see their English speaking selves in their own personal futures. It's linked to their aspiration. So they envision how they're going to use English, and they need a launch, a catalyst, a trigger from the teacher. Then the teacher provides a facilitative structure through progress checks, testing and monitoring routines, and this will establish good learner practice, good routines. It has to be done with a positive mindset, and the teacher provides frameworks which include critical thinking strategies and are personalised to the learner. I believe autonomous learning is inherently motivational. I believe in a flexible syllabus which can be changed based on continuous feedback from the student. I believe the student should be emotionally involved. I don't mean lessons should make them sad or angry. What I mean is that we can tap into their empathy and bring down the affective framework between them and the topic, the affective barrier between them and the topic. One way of sustaining engagement is the music syllabus, music being an acronym for empowerment, usefulness, success, interest, and caring. Through this framework, the students become more engaged in the learning process and end up learning more. M for empowerment gives the students at least the perception that they have input into their learning, their topics, the methodologies. Usefulness, the teacher must show that the lesson has relevance to the students' real-life goals and their course. Success, well, the learner must be allowed to succeed. They must be given achievable tasks, challenging but achievable, clear expectations, and a positive feedback loop. Teachers must make the lessons interesting. We must use emotive topics, multimedia, music, internet, whatever it takes to engage the student. And of course, caring, there has to be a real dialogue between teacher and student. The teacher needs to be authentic. In terms of monitoring progress, grades are very important at university. We need to have a pass. We need to have bands of achievement, satisfactory, outstanding, excellent. We need to take regular progress tests and to keep the results on a database so that we can plot improvement and see progress taking place, hopefully. Also, we need to make clear marking schemes so that the students' marking can be consistent across the board. Of course, assessing the learner also assesses the course itself. If the learner is successful, it means the syllabus itself must be successful. And, of course, vice versa. If learners are not succeeding, it does inform on the overall effectiveness of the course. This is a study that I've been very interested in. Now, when teachers give written, formative, qualitative feedback, along with a grade or a mark, it has no different impact on the learner as if you just gave a grade alone, because learners focus on their grade and they don't read what has been written about them. Instead, I prefer a paradigm of formative feedback without being too grade obsessed all the time. Focused feedback, which gives the student some work to do and is a catalyst for critical thinking strategies, rather than the emotional response of receiving a score which is either very good or very bad, marked in red pen. Autonomous learning, involving the student in their own assessment, is, as I said, inherently motivational. I'm very interested in students keeping a reflective diary, describing what they're working on, their feelings towards it, evaluating whether their output is good or bad, analysing why, coming to a conclusion, and making an action plan. I also believe that students can self-assess. They can reflect on their work and take responsibility for their own assessment on the way to becoming autonomous learners and truly motivated. Thank you very much for listening. If you've got any questions, I'll be delighted to answer them. Okay, that was 11 minutes long. I need to lose 1 minute. What did you think?